Hi everyone, and welcome to episode number 119 of the Karen Knits podcast. My name is Karen, and I'm coming to you from South Central Pennsylvania, where I live, where I work, where I knit, and where I get into all kinds of other crafting shenanigans. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. It's a kind of dreary day. It's still hot and muggy out, but we've had drizzly rain off and on all day. It's kind of one of those, my husband likes to call them an eye shutter day, where you just kind of want to relax and do nothing. But it is Saturday, July 9th. Just drinking water today. So it's Saturday, July the 9th, 2022, and it's been a busy day. It's almost 5 o'clock in the evening and I'm finally getting around to doing this. We've just had so much going on this past week. It has not been anywhere near as productive as I would have hoped it would have been, in terms, well, especially in terms of knitting. But it's just been busy with all kinds of things on the go and not a lot of spare time. And then when I did have spare time, it was hot and humid and I just didn't want to pick up my knitting needles. So I don't have very much progress to show you this week. In fact, I've only worked on one project all week, and it's not a whole heck of a lot to show you. It might be a short episode this week, or I might natter on about all kinds of random nothings for half an hour. Stay tuned, let's see what happens. So this week, the only thing I worked on was my Miss May Shawl MKAL, the pattern. This is a design by Helen Stewart, and as with all of her patterns, all the stuff by Helen Stewart, I love, love, love it. I've thoroughly enjoyed everything I've ever made by her. I think this is my third or fourth different pattern I've made by Helen Stewart, and I'm loving it. So this is a mystery shawl pattern that started 5 weeks ago. And the fifth and final clue came out this past Tuesday. I'm still working on the fourth clue. Granted, I only have 3 rows left to go, but each row is 350, 360 odd stitches. So it takes me a little while to get through each row. And especially this last week, it's been so hot that I'm just like, I've not been excited about having a nice wool pile of fabric on my lap or sitting there, and my hands are getting so sweaty. But anyway, I have 3 rows left to do on clue number 4, and then I'll be ready to start clue number 5. Hoping I can finish clue 4 tonight. I'm hoping, and hopefully it won't take me too long to do the final clue. The border is relatively straightforward. It's not a complicated stitch pattern, so by the time I get the first row, actually by the time I get the first row done, I don't even have to look at the pattern. So it should go relatively quickly, even though it's a lot of stitches each row. And I forget how many rows the border is. It's, I think, 10 or 16 rows. It's quite a few rows. But for this I'm using, good grief, noisy cars, noisy vehicles. Anyway, I'm tired and a little on the cranky side right now, so most everything is kind of annoying me. So I apologize if I get cranky sounding on this video. I'm in a cranky mood this afternoon, but anyway, we'll just let that go. Just let it go. So the yarn I'm using for the mystery shawl is, I bought it from Webs. It's a Cloudborne Fibers Highland Superwash sock twist. And I was using 4 colors, Lagoon, Ocean, Taupe Heather, and Stone Heather. And I'm on my second last. I think it called for 100 grams of each of the 4 colors, and I have managed to, I think I've had to crack into the second skein of each one, except the border I don't know yet. So each of these skeins were 50 grams. So anyway, so I will show you where I'm at. The spoiler alerts are going to be no longer necessary after, I think she said, the 12th of July. So next week. So once that passes, we don't have to worry about using spoiler alerts. But this week I will include a spoiler alert on this in case you don't want to see what Clue 4 looks like if you're farther behind than I am. And I'll put a little timestamp on here when it's safe to come back, and I'll let you take a look at where I'm at right now. So, final warning, spoilers coming up. Alrighty, here we go. So here I am, almost done with clue number 4. And clue number 4 is the light tan color, or this is taupe heather. Yeah, taupe heather. And it's a pretty little leaf design. It's quite pretty, I like it. So there's still 3 rows left to go. So basically just one more row to finish off close up the little petal design here, and 2 rows of just the plain resting rows. A resting row, then this guy will be closed up, and then another resting row, and then we're ready for the border. So it's a pretty little leaf design on here, and here's what the whole thing is looking like so far. And I realize it's a big scrunchy pile of fabric right now. I'm hoping that by the time I come back and show you guys next week, the knitting will be finished. It's safe to look back now. The knitting will be finished, and I will have it blocked as well. I'm hoping to get the border done over the next 2 or 3 days. And once the border's done, then I'll soak it and get it blocked and ready to show it off in all its glory next week. That's what I thought I would be doing by today. I honestly thought I would have clue number 4 complete, and I was actually hoping I would have clue number 5 complete as well. That did not happen. That didn't happen at all. Oh well. So that's it for my knitting content. That's pretty sad. That's not an awful lot. That's not much knitting at all. It was one of those weeks. So what I am looking forward to doing is, as soon as I'm done with my mystery shawl, I plan on getting back to working on my Empress top. And I also need to plan for my travel knitting. So, as I think I mentioned last week, I have plans to go back to Canada to visit my mom, my sister, and other family members, leaving a week from Tuesday. And I have long layovers in a couple airports, and I'll have a lot of travel time, and I'll also have time when I'm just sitting and watching TV and visiting with my mom to do some knitting. So what I think I'm going to do is take the yarn necessary for working on probably 2 pair of socks. I'm going to pick from the yarn in this basket here and make 1 pair, just a regular vanilla pair of socks. And then that way I can use some of the nice variegated yarn that I've done up. But I'm also considering that the 3rd lap for the Super Sock World Championship competition, the 3rd pattern should be out in time for me to get yarn caked up and get started and take that for knitting while I'm traveling. But that's all going to depend on how complicated the pattern is. It looks like both the high octane and low octane patterns coming up are both cable designs of some sort. I think, just looking at the specs, I think I saw a cable needle as part of the items you would need for the pattern. So depending on how complex the pattern is, I might not want to use that as travel knitting. If it does look like it's going to be chart heavy, then I will opt to park that round. But we'll see. We shall see. I might be able to work on vanilla socks while at airports and traveling and on the airplane, and then work on the cable socks just while I'm sitting at home with my mom. We shall see. So that's one of the things. I'm also considering maybe doing a pattern that has a little bit of something to it other than just a plain vanilla sock, although I do like a plain vanilla sock. I'm thinking maybe the Hermione's Everyday Socks. I'm one of the few people left on this planet that has not yet knit those. And maybe something else like that. Or maybe I'll take the two little skeins I have of Felici, the self-striping yarn from Knit Picks, and do a vanilla pair of socks with those. Oh, so many decisions, so many decisions. But I am planning on taking the materials and things that I need to make to have on hand to potentially make 2 pair of socks while I'm gone. I might do the vanilla socks, maybe I'll do them 2 at a time. Or maybe I'll do self-stripey 2 at a time as opposed to doing one then the second one. Then I don't have to take as many needles home. These are the big life decisions I'm making right now. That's about as much brain power as I want to use. But, so those are my plans for the upcoming while. I also am hoping I can get something videotaped for you guys to show you, have one video, at least one video come out while I'm gone, because I will miss 2 Saturdays while I'm away. So I might film something. But if I don't have time, I might just take the 2-week break and not have anything. Another thing I have to think about. So, but otherwise, not much else is going on. We've been keeping busy. A lot of what we've been doing this past week have been related to church things and things leading up to the service coming up this Sunday or tomorrow morning. So that's kept us really busy this last week, especially the last few days. And next week coming up, I also need to get some research done and some school work and my real work done in the week coming up. I have to get some work done on a paper and get that out to a couple colleagues to get their feedback on where the paper is at. So I'm really planning on pushing hard on that on Monday and Tuesday so I can get a good chunk of the writing done so that I can get some feedback and get it to the next person on our research team. There's 3 of us working on this paper together. So one of the guys has done a lot of the data work, and I need to do a lot of the writing up part, and then the 3rd person is going to finish it off. So I have to get my part done. So I do need to get that done early in the week so that they have time to go over it before I'm out of town and less available. I'm not going to be doing any research stuff while I'm gone. No, not going to happen. So I know that for 100%. I'm not doing any research type stuff while I'm gone. So that's it. This is a short episode today. Hubby and I have to get going we're going to go out for supper. We forgot to take something out and thaw out some meat to have for supper tonight, so we get to go out and eat instead. So that's the plan. I'll get the editing done and get this uploading, and then we can head out for a bite to eat. And I also have to make a cake this evening. We're having, after the service tomorrow at church, we're having a lunch, and there's a handful of us that are bringing something for dessert. So I'm going to throw together a quick cake. It's one of the quickest, easiest cakes ever. You take a large can of crushed pineapples, and a box of Angel Food cake mix, and you mix those two things together in a bowl. So just the pineapple and just the dry cake mix it together, put it in a 9 by 13 inch cake pan. Don't grease the pan or don't spray it with non-stick stuff. Pour it into the pan, throw it in the oven at I think 325 or 350 Fahrenheit for 20 to 30 minutes, and it's done. It's that dead easy, and it's so good. It's such a moist cake. And I'm also going to this time do a little icing. I have a container of Cool Whip, so that's in the fridge thawing, so it's ready to put on the cake in the morning. And I'll make the cake tonight, and then I'll put the Cool Whip on top of it, and we'll take it with us for church tomorrow. So if you're, I don't have the exact details when I describe the recipe. If you're at all interested, just Google crushed pineapple Angel Food cake recipe. A ton of them will come up. It just has the two ingredients: crushed pineapples and a box of Angel Food cake mix, and that's it. And it makes a fantastic cake. You can do it in a 9 by 13, or you can do it in one of those round Angel Food cake pans with the hole in the middle. I don't have a pan like that, so I always do the 9 by 13. I don't own an Angel Food cake pan. I have no intention of buying one because I don't make cakes that often, and particularly not an Angel Food cake or something that needs to be cooked in that kind of pan. So anyway, on that note, I'm making myself hungry talking about this cake, so I better get going, and take care everyone, and I will see you guys again in a week. Bye.